Hello, everyone. I guess I'm audible, and if it's not, please let us know. A very good morning to all of you. I, on behalf of the Praxis family, welcome you all to the AMA Open House webinar with the July 2019-20 batch of data science students here at Praxis. We all thank you for taking your time out and joining us for this webinar. We'll start off the webinar by first introducing ourselves. I'm Surma Das, and I have done my BSc and MSc in statistics. And prior to joining Praxis, I was working as a statistical tester at Citel for around 4 years. And while I was working, I used to get hearing about data science, and also I started looking into what is data science and why it is, what is the advantage. Since I'm from statistics and I also had an interest in programming, so I started looking into it, and the programs quite intrigued me. And logical thinking is something which I've always liked. So I thought of taking up the course, and I started looking around of the programs that are available at India. And most of the suggestions that I got from my peers and everyone out in the industry was about Praxis. And since I was interested in a full-time course, so I thought of taking up the data science program at Praxis. And here it is. I have been placed as a data scientist at Mahindra. So next, please.
Hi everyone, good morning. I am Shubhashree. So I come from a computer science background, and then yeah, I hope I'm audible. Yeah, then I started working with Wipro for 3 years. I was into user automation and all. So there is where I was introduced to analytics a little bit. And then I got interested in it and did my part of research. And I chose Praxis, which suited to my best interests. So I wanted a full-time program and in classroom environment. So the curriculum was also going well with my interests. So that is why I chose Praxis. And now I'm placed with PwC as a consultant. So yeah, this is my, yeah, next one.
Hi everyone, this is Varishu Pant from the 2019 July batch. I pursued my BSc Honors Statistics from Delhi University, where I was introduced to RStudio, which is a statistical tool used a lot in the data science industry. So I looked into it, browsed the internet for online courses, completed some. That's when I knew I was serious about data science. And so I looked into a full-time course like Praxis, and I found it through the rankings given by the Analytics India magazine. So that's why I chose Praxis. Also, I got placed as a management trainee in analytics in L&T Financial Services.
Thanks, Varishu. Hello, everyone. I'm Satendra. I'm from Bareilly. I did my graduation from IIIT Jabalpur in Electronics and Communication Engineering. From there, I was selected in IBM as a system engineer. Most of my work was in SQL, so I got good exposure of SQL in those 3 years. And my daily activity was to extract data from servers and provide it to the analyst and data scientist. And that's where I came to know about data science. And the next stepping stone I chose is data science because I was good in mathematics. I got a good exposure of SQL. I was good at analyzing some things and in problem solving skills. Uh, and I also wanted to expand my skills and grow in my career. Uh, After that, I started my hunt for searching the best program where I can learn the data science program. But I did some online courses also, but that was not helpful for me. So I think that I will be doing some full-time university courses. I can say that when I started my journey in Praxis, I was a kind of noob in data science, but Praxis helped me a lot to gaining some experience in data science. And now I'm placed in latent view analytics as my first job in analytics field. So I think that's all for introductions. We can start our Ask Me Anything webinar. So you guys have shoot up some good list of questions, and we have bucketed those questions in 5 or 6 buckets, and we'll be answering those accordingly. So, and if you guys have any other question, you can ask them in chat, and after completing these bucketed question, we'll be taking those questions. So the first is, what is data science? The first bucket is what is data science, and I'll be talking about it. Next slide. Yeah. So the first question is, what is the difference between data analytics and data science? So what I think is, like, data science is kind of tree which have many branches, like data analytics, data engineering, data pre-processing, and predictive analysis, ML analytics, anything. But data analytics is kind of focused branch of data science, which mainly focused on providing the insights from the data and finding patterns in the data. Next question is, how much data science useful in financial domains? Well, this is the domain which generates most of the data, and data science is used in many financial domains right now. And it's been used in many fields like algorithmic trading, fraud detection, risk management, risk analysis, customer management. And I can say that most of the recruits in data science are in this domain only. Okay. So the next question is, please explain various domains in data science one can pursue in their career. It is asked by Kushal, I think. Yeah. So the domains in data science are banking, finance, healthcare analytics, and retail analytics, marketing analytics, HR analytics, computer vision, NLP. One can pursue their career in these fields. Next question, from where should one study, online or proper university? It is asked by Praglab Saxena. So I can tell you about my experience. Before coming to Praxis, I did some online courses, and those were not very much helpful for me. I learned some things. It's like I learned hardly 30 to 40% of the things, and the remaining were like black box to me. So I can say that doing course from a proper university, a full-time course, is a good thing, and it will help you achieve many things in data science. Next two questions are kind of similar. How can I be a data scientist, and what skills are required for an aspiring data scientist? So first, the data science is very vast field. There are, like, you have to be skilled in many skills, but there are three basic and most important skills are mathematics, programming, and domain knowledge. Mathematics, you can take calculus and statistics for the basic things, and calculus is mostly for deep learning, and you'll be requiring statistics and linear algebra for basic ML algorithms. Programming, you need to learn Python, R, SQL, and you have to be good in it. And the third thing is domain knowledge, which you'll gather at the time of working. So I can say, for a good data scientist, one must be very good in two of these skills out of those three skills. And apart from that, one must know data visualization techniques and data extraction techniques, data engineering, and one must be a good storyteller for a good data scientist. So that's all from this bucket. Now I invite Subhashri to take up the next bucket of career aspects in data science. Thank you.
Thanks, Satendra. So I'll be answering your questions regarding the placements and all. So let me introduce you to the placements, how it works in Praxis. Okay. So we have a Placecom team identified in every batch. So they help you out with the placements in campus. Let it be applying for job profiles and all the time slots of when the interviews are conducted and all. So we basically have day zero, which starts likely at 5:30 a.m. in the morning in college campus itself. Different companies visit and plan time slots. So each company has their procedure. They mostly include the quant exam, the qualifying round, and then the group discussion and interviews. And the preparation for placements would be practicing your quant LR basics and then have good projects on your resume on real-time use cases and all. So let me come to the questions. So the first question is, will I get placement only based on this course in any of the MNCs out there, by Ayush Ambade? So the answer is like all MNCs have the data science department and all of them recruit at different levels. So you'll get placed. And the next question, for an ENTC background student, if he is interested in data science as a job profile, what kind of steps he or she should take to get a job in this field? So as maximum companies have a policy of only computer or IT students. There is nothing like only computer or IT students, because once you get into praxis, you'll have the programming subjects and you'll be into the rigorous practice of programming. So you'll put up with the pace. And mostly, if you want to be more confident, you can start working on the programming skills and, participate in hackathons and all to gain more confidence. Okay, the next question is by Jubair. Package and integration of current skills and experience to this program, scholarship, internship, and financial aid during the course of study. So, scholarships, Praxis has a scholarship program. Okay, they give up to 10 lakhs scholarships. So they are divided into two categories: directors merit list, 5 scholarships per intake, and Praxis Business School Foundation scholarships. They are also 5 per intake. So they will be given for the first 10 eligible candidates. Financial aids, you can get education loans by banks and all. Okay. The next question, how can I make career in data science and AI? A part of this question is already answered by Satendra, and this question was asked by Suman Mondal. So the first step would be self-assess yourself. Okay. Then identify the areas where you're strong and weak, why you chose the data science path. And once you understand that, you'll understand where you're weak and you can work on those skills. Yeah, and the Praxis, the curriculum is designed in such a way that people from different backgrounds, they bring up everyone onto the same page in the first 1 month only. Okay, the next question is asked by Sarthak Rastogi. How to get entry-level data science internships? How do you get internships is you have to start networking, be it on social platforms or in real. And you have to inform the recruiters about why you want, why they have to hire you, and you have to talk about your projects, your self projects you have worked on the data science path, and you should basically have the intuition of every algorithm you have used on your projects. So that will help you getting internships and all. Next question, as a data scientist, what are the skills any company demands from a fresher? Okay. So this question is by Purvayan Chatterjee. Basically, for a data science professional, you need to have programming skills, good understanding of the AI ML algorithms. As Satendra has already mentioned, you have the knowledge of linear algebra and statistics for basic ML algorithms, and calculus and all for your DL algorithms. And of course, you should have your communication skills and little understanding of the business use cases. Okay, going to the next question. Next question is it advisable to leave the job and join Praxis? Okay, this question is by Junaita Priyanka. So I would say advice is very subjective. I can only put forth my opinion. In my case, I have left my job and joined Praxis because I felt it was right for me and it was suiting my interest. Okay, it has basically the curriculum is designed in such a way that it has all the components as I've mentioned before. It covers the programming skills, it covers the mathematics subjects, statistics, and linear algebra. So you have everything what a company looks for in a data science professional once you attain these skills. Okay. The next question is, how will be the placement in this crisis situation? Okay, crisis situation, it is crisis for everyone. So you have to understand that current situation and you can't expect any overnight miracles to happen. This is the best time to upskill, okay? So placement cell in Praxis is always supportive and encouraging. Batch on batch, the placements have improved a lot. In my batch, compared to my senior batch, my batch, the placements have improved. So post Corona, you'll always see as of now, the automations are increasing. The companies which have never went to the automation or digitalization, they're opting for it. So you can see an increasing demand in data science as well. So this would be the right time to upskill if you want to, get into data science field. And the next question is by Edugani Shailendar. So he says, what if one doesn't get placed after the course completion? So there's nothing to worry about getting placed once you have the right skill set. I can give you examples from my own batch who has a good skill set, but he didn't get placed in the placements because he had some conditions on where to apply the job. He had some location things and all. I mean, like without anything, also you can get placed outside the campus. Even our senior batch, we had some candidates who got placed immediately after the college and all. So there is nothing to worry as soon as you have the right skill set. As long as you have the right skill set. Okay. Coming on to the next question by Deepak Vashisht. So he says he has a 2-year gap after graduation. How will it impact on placements? 2-year gap, it should not matter much if you were working on building your resume or some other personal reasons. As far as the placecom is considered, you'll be given equal opportunity as any other candidate. And from the for campus placements, that should not affect your campus placements. Okay, moving on. I've already enrolled for the data science program at Praxis. My question is, how is the pandemic going to affect the campus placements? So as I've already answered before, this is the good time to upskill, guys. So keep working on your skill set because post COVID, you will definitely see an increase in the demand for DS jobs. Companies would want to recruit professionals with good skills in data science and understanding of the algorithms and how they work and all. So just concentrate on upskilling yourself this time because post COVID there will be an increase because most of the companies are going for cost optimization and automation is also increasing. So don't worry about that. Next, what is the average, maximum, and minimum placement for your batch of 2020 for a fresher or for a person from a non-tech stream? Okay, this is an interesting question. So from my own batch, I have a good example for this question. We have a guy who comes from a mechanical engineering background. He's a fresher and he bagged a package of 16 lakhs per annum with IDFC First Bank. So your background and all should not give you more weightage when it comes to placements when you can crack the interview. You should be able to crack the interview. That was the highest, and average was 9 lakhs. Minimum goes to 5 lakhs per annum, and that depends on the company again. If we cannot, tell which company is going to offer which much, with how much. So it again depends on the company's requirement. So that's all for the career prospects in data science questions. Moving on, background suitability. Varisha, you continue it from now.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I have a question here from Saurabh. Okay, I am from electronics engineering background. So how can I start my career in data science? I think this has already been answered, but I guess okay, I can repeat the same thing. So basically, in our batch also and in previous batches, we have seen a lot of engineers interested in the field. And what you can do is you already have a step up because you are comfortable in learning and adapting to new technologies and softwares and new coding languages. But but the tools these are basically tools for a data scientist, right? And what you need is background in what you need is your core fundamentals, that's statistics and maths. So if you're interested in maths and if you like data science and you're an engineer, it's a well begun, half done. Go for it. This is the course for you. So you can start by trying out some uh, online courses if you haven't already. And let me tell you, I have done that before, and you won't get the same thing as you get in a full-time course. So you can start out by trying out different things, and once you get comfortable in the fact that okay, so this is what data science is about, I'm interested in it, so let me tell you that praxis is the thing for you. So that's how you can start your career. The next is from Agnella. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I'm an accountant, but I want to do data science. Is it advisable, and which courses? So yeah, there are a lot of people from a commerce background that I personally know that have tried that are in my batch or I met through LinkedIn that are data scientists right now. And yes, it is definitely advisable. See if like a lot of people have already said, it's about maths, right? If you're interested in maths, then you can definitely be a data scientist. And which courses? So I know data science is a huge stream, and the work may differ a lot from sector to sector, from financial sector to consumer sector, retail sector, but the basics are the same. So what you get taught here in praxis is the same for all of us, like you all get taught the same, but the work we are doing right now may differ hugely depending on which sector we are placed. For example, someone in landmark in a retail sector will be doing work in consumer analytics, which would be a lot different than what I am doing in the financial sector. But the basics are the same, and we all from are praxites. So yeah, you definitely praxis is the course for you. You can come here, you can study data science, because all in all, what you need are the basics, and the kind of work you will get depends on the sector. And okay, so now I have a question from Deepak. Having 7 years of experience other than analytics, but somewhere I had interest in analytics. So is it good to drop job and do PGP in data science from praxis? Thus I am able to crack it for my future career. Okay, so I don't claim to be a career counselor, but let me tell you something. If you're interested in analytics, go for it, because this is a field that's booming right now, and it will have a huge growth in the future too. Because see, even now, even in during a pandemic, during recession, people are getting digitally connected. We are talking to you right now on a platform that is digital, right? And all over the world, people are working from home. So that is creating data, web analytics data. So even in times like this, a data science job profile has gone nowhere. It's we are still here, we're still working, and your job will be secure if you would be a data scientist. So yeah, okay. And the question of having 7 years of experience. So if there can be two things. If you think that you will be at a disadvantage if you quit your job, so let me tell you that that's not true. We have had experiences. I know friends that have had 6 or 7 years of experience. In fact, one of them conducted a similar webinar previously, and he actually got a hike in his package from after praxis. The other thing is what's the worst scenario, that even if you think that the change would be so different that you may get a slightly lesser package. But let me tell you something, since you will be on your way to making a career in the field that you love, and so let me tell you some interesting statistics. Praxites have been able to double their salaries in 3 years and have more than tripled their salaries in 6 years of graduating from Praxis. Okay, this is data driven. We have found this out. Praxites have been promoted or have moved to better opportunities within 3 years of graduating from Praxis. Okay, so first of all, you will be moving towards a career that you love, and secondly, you have all these things that once you're graduated from Praxis, you won't even feel the difference. You won't even feel a gap in salary. You'll make up for it. Plus, you'll be loving what you do. So yeah, go for it. Next question is from Kaluri. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your names. I don't have minimum knowledge in coding and I'm not too smart a learner. Is this suitable to me? Otherwise, these other courses I doing as Oracle administrator. Okay, so in terms of coding, like I've said before, all the coding platforms like Python or R or SQL or V that we use, they are tools. The fact that you're interested in data science is enough. You should have a will to learn. Here, we not only here I'm saying we here the faculty at Praxis, they don't not only teach you the tools but also the details and the background of each statistical model and why it functions the way it does. So you don't need to worry about that. You will be taught from the scratch everything about the machine learning and deep learning. And also you've been working as Oracle administrator, so you're the right candidate already. You're comfortable with data, you've seen data, you know how it looks like. That's good. Is this suitable? These other courses, this no. So this, see, I can't say for other courses, but I can say for this course because this is a very intensive course. This is from my experience, because data science is such a massive field, a massive subject, and to condense all that knowledge in 9 months, there's something that you have to do. We have to do as students from our side too, right? So yeah, the full-time course is the one you need to do if you want a kickstart, a head start in the industry. Praxis is the one. So next question is from Supriya. How much of coding knowledge we need to have prior starting this course, and what all we need to prepare and learn before getting the course started? As a non-coding or non-IT professional, kindly guide us how we can head start. So let me tell you my story. I am a fresher, and I did my BSc on statistics. So I did not have coding experience either. All I did was a little bit of RStudio, which was not mainstream coding. It was more of a statistical tool. So I spent some of the time in online courses, and I learned a little bit of Python from that, and that was enough. Let me tell you, because again, being a data scientist does not mean that you know the tools or you know Python, because tools will change as the years change, and you will have to adapt. Being a data scientist means that you are interested in the concepts behind it. So you can always learn Python or R or SQL. You can always do that, but the basics that not every college tells you, they are here. The basics of statistics, the basics of mathematics, why models work the way they do. Okay, so what I did was I practiced Python around 2 months from my end while in college, and that was enough to crack Praxis. And here they teach you all of that from scratch. So yeah, that's how you can get a head start. Next question is from Rahul. Can a commerce background student start a career? Yes, I already answered that. You can, definitely. Shubham Kumar. I am a commerce graduate and currently pursuing my PGDM in marketing. What is my scope as a data scientist? So like I said, we have people from all streams, students from all streams, and we all get equal opportunity in the placements. Being from marketing, that's even better, because even though like I'm the living proof, you don't need a PG degree or diploma to have a job as a data scientist. But having one in marketing does not hurt, because for example, my profile is management trainee in analytics, right? I think if you combine your PGDM in marketing with the data science from Praxis, this profile would be well suited for you, amazingly well suited for you. So yeah, you have a lot of scope, the data scientist. Okay, so next is Zahid, I have lost my job due to COVID-19. Will it be a good idea to do full-time PG diploma course in data science from Praxis, or should I continue my job hunt? I have total 4.5 plus years of experience in trading and risk management domain, and my role involved administration and production support, code fixes, specific to a trading and risk tool, OpenLink Endure. Okay, so I'm sorry that you lost your job. I know COVID-19 has affected all of us, but like I said before, the data world is as it is. The data is increasing every day, and we need someone to manage that data. That's a data scientist job. So don't worry about it. If you want to get into the industry right now, the best time is right now. Will it be a good time to do a full time? Yes, because like I said, this course is very intensive. So if you get into it, you will have to give it your 110%. You can't do that if you are working in a 9 to 5, right? You won't have the energy or the willpower. Will it be a good idea to do for them? And about the 4.5 plus years of experience, like I said before, we have had people from various streams and various years of experiences. And so yeah, it's a stable playing field for everyone when you get into Praxis. It's all about the effort you give in, and the kind of learning you do for yourself. Everybody is equal during placements. All right. So next up is Abhishek's question. I'm pursuing graduation in ECE. Can online learning help me to get a job in data science? So, like, okay, I'm sure that most of us before coming to Praxis have tried online courses. Okay, so it's not a because it's very easy, right? You can just jump on a site and try up an online course. But let me tell you, the reason that we came to Praxis is because we are human, right? There are points that we'll need someone to explain us. There are points when we get stuck, and then you look into different sources. You go to YouTube, you find other channels, you find other courses. But there are some things you you will feel if you try online courses that they just cannot give you. First of all, the interaction, like I am having with you right now. You're asking me questions. You can't have that in online courses. So, and also remember your college days, right? You had an environment, you had people around you studying, you had competition. You can't get that during online courses. Plus, like I said, 9 months of fully intensive studying, that's what made us eligible to sit for all the interviews. So just think, if you give it what 50% or even 60% of your time, think of how long it will take you, right? So I'm not discouraging you here. I'm encouraging you to join the full-time course because that's the best decision. Okay, so this was about the background. Okay, wait, I think we have another one. From Adarsh, how is the job market looking for data scientists right now amidst the crisis? Which course to take for a beginner to data science with CS background? So like I said, the job market is fully there. It's not that the jobs are less now. Which course to take for a beginner? Yeah, so you can definitely try your hands with online courses. That will give you a feel of what data science is all about. But if you are serious about it, you need a full-time course like Praxis. Okay, so now we'll have a next section. So now
Yeah, thank you, Varishu. So I will be covering the bucket of questions based on the Praxis PG PDS program. So the first question was asked on the difficulty level of the program. So yeah, as you can understand, it's an data science. As all my previous people who talked, they said data science. It's quite intensive and it's quite vast. I'll say it's an ever growing subject that keeps on growing, and as more and more data comes in, so that and building them all up at the basic for 9 months, it is a bit difficult, right? So but if you give in your whole for this 9 months to achieve something which will be lasting a long time in your life, so then it won't be a difficulty. And since in the 9 months, it's not like you're going to fight alone. You will have your friends and other batchmates studying with you. So it was really a very good experience for all of us, and learning it up, picking up all the new things that are there in the domain. It's really very nice. So it is difficult, but if you're given your 100% for this course, or maybe 200%, it will be good for you to take it up. The next question is, how much emphasis was placed on deep learning and big data during the course? It was asked by Gautam. So as we know that data science, one of the building blocks is ML and deep learning. And we had our course is divided into 3 semesters. So one semester mainly was on the building blocks of ML, and then we delved into ML for the next semester. And in the final semester, it was totally given into the deep learning courses. And at the end of all of it, we had our capstone projects, which we had to apply whatever we learned in our 9 months course. So obviously, since it is a data science course and ML and deep learning are one of the blocks for this course, so it was definitely given a lot of importance. The next question is about the admission process. So for joining into Praxis, we had to give the Praxis admission test. And after the test was given, we had to attend an interview. And this was taken in the different metro cities. But given the current situation of COVID, I the admission process will obviously be taken online, and you will also have Skype interviews given in the current situation. Okay, the next question is, how much focus is given to the MLN curriculum, and is there any specialization we can opt for at the end of the program? So this was asked by Pranjal. So as I already said, ML is a building block for a data science, right? So ML is already obviously given much focus on it, because if we do not develop good knowledge about the algorithms and the different working procedures, it won't be helpful to take up the course. So that is what it is. And doing a PGPDS program for 9 months itself is a specialization. So you don't need to do, I don't think you need to do any other specializations at the end of the program. Because after the program is completed, we also go for a capstone project. So, and this itself is a specialization. So you don't need any other specializations to go for it. Okay, the next question is, how good is this program for freshers? So just as Varishu talked in the previous section, so he himself is, as you have heard, he himself is a fresher, and he got placed in LTFS. So this program itself is very good, and even the Varishu is from a statistics background. I have had my batchmates who were from non-statistics background, or who were not in much in connection with the whatever topic is required for data science. But during the 9 months course, they fared quite well, and they took up everything. It's all about giving your hard work and giving your 100% for the course to take up whatever is being taught. Okay. The next set of question is about placements, which is better campus. Do placements is same in both the campuses, and how is the faculty? So this was asked by Rishabh. The placements happen simultaneously in both the campuses at Kolkata and Bangalore. And better campus, I don't think there can be any comparison of the campuses, because the faculties who teach in Kolkata, they at times visit to Bangalore and vice versa. And both the campuses have their well set of faculties who are much acknowledged in their respective fields in which they teach us. So there cannot be any comparison to be brought about. And the placements, so as Shubhashri said, we had our day zero, and the day zero was same in both the Kolkata and Bangalore. It started at the same time. We just had to join from different locations, that is Bangalore and Kolkata. Otherwise, there is not much difference. The placements happen same in both. The only thing is that it depends on you which type, where you want to join, whether it's suitable for you to join in Bangalore or in Kolkata. Otherwise, there isn't much any other difference with respect to the placements. what is the actual placement numbers in Kolkata campus in the last 2 sessions. So this was asked by Rishabh again. So hello, sorry, I thought my video went. In the last 2 sessions, almost about 89% of the students who joined the Praxis program got placed, and this data is accumulated with respect to Bangalore as well as Kolkata. Total number of students who were there in Bangalore and Kolkata. Out of them, 89% of the students got placed. So, and given all of these situations, I think it's quite a good number. And who are not placed are also who were not placed on day zero. They were also given further companies that came in, and the placements happened also. Next question is, what assistance is given to students not getting placed? So as I say, maximum of the students got placed on day zero, and whoever were not placed on day zero, they were other companies used to come even after day zero, and they were given the opportunity to sit for the placements. And after the course got over, and if there were a few people who were left for not getting placed, so I don't think it's much of a thing to be tensed about, because first thing is, you are learning so much about data science. You are getting your blocks being built on a strong platform, on a strong foundation, because you're giving your 100% during this course curriculum, right? So if you are really learning it up well, and as much as we know from the previous Praxis data, even people who did not get placed during the 9 months, even after that, after the course got over, within 3-4 months maximum, they got placed, because companies uh, do know about our Praxis program, and they acknowledge that, and they know how well the program is. Moreover, the alumni network in Praxis is very good, and so they keep on giving us referrals for people who are not getting placed, and they help us out. And even after the placement, many people, like from our batch, 1 or 2 people who did not get placed, the people who did not get placed, they started doing internships, and even the teachers are in constant touch with us. So the faculties, if you need any help from them in any situation, they will definitely help you. So even if you're not placed during the program, you will be getting a job later on. So please do not worry about that, because learning is the most important that will be getting done here. Lowest salary in the last 2 sessions. So the lowest salary in the last 2 sessions was around 5 lakhs per annum. So this is the answer for that. And I want to know about the placement assistance after completion of the program. So this question I've already answered in the previous question, that after your placement is done, and if you're not after the program is done, and if you're not placed, and within around 3-4 months, you will be getting a placement done, because you have done a PGP program in data science, and companies around, they definitely know about it. So this is all about the placement programs out here at Praxis. So we'll give as I said, I will give a short highlights about the program at Praxis. So it's a 3-semester program with 9 months duration of classroom training. And we have the pedagogy, as you can see, is instructor-led classroom training. We have face-to-face interactions, and the faculties, they are very helpful and very approachable. Whenever you need them, they will be there for you. And the course combines of lectures. We have different case studies for whatever we are learning. We were given constantly, the case studies were given, which we have to solve, and we should discuss them later with projects and lab sessions. And after the 9 months program almost comes to an end, like in the third semester, we had our capstone project, on which we had to involve whatever we used to work in group, and we had to give our best in whatever we have learned. We had to apply them, and this was really helpful, because we got to actually apply them on real hand and understand whatever we have learned and whatever the backdrops that we need to improve upon. So there are 2 batch schedules we have, that is one from January to October, and the other is from July to March. But given the current situation of COVID, maybe the current batch of July is will be postponed a bit to August, but initially we will be starting off with online classes, which is already happening. Like for our July batch, also the last few classes we had were online, and even for the current January batch, they are having constant rigorous online classes. And as also I've said, the placement schedule for January batch is June onwards, with the joining mostly in November. And for the July batch, we have the placement starting from November onwards, with joining in the April as next year. But as I've stated, with the given COVID situation, it might go up back a bit. So these are the techniques that we learn, whatever is required for data science, like data mining and machine learning, different statistics, the basics and advanced as well, with econometrics and statistical modeling. And as Satyendra has already told, deep learning, visualizations, text analytics, that natural language processing. And then we have our management concepts, because only learning won't be helping you. You need to learn how to apply and where to apply. So for that, we have the business analytics approach, market research, and optimization techniques, and so on. And we also learned different tools and techniques like RDBMS, SAS, R, Python, and all of those, with Keras and TensorFlow going for the deep learning things. And since data science is applicable in different domains, we have been given an idea about the different domains in our course, given that finance services, web analytics, healthcare, and all. We have been given a touch of that, so that we get to know what are those and how data science is applicable in all of those fields. So that is all about the course coverage that we have. And so, as even Varishu said, the student profile, as you can see here, is vast, and we had engineering graduates from different colleges like IITs, NITs, BITS, and all. And there were people from non-engineering graduates also, like for example, even myself, I am a statistics background person, and there were people from other domains who have done graduation in from Ferguson, Symbiosis, and so on. And most 30% of the batch are postgraduates, with 50% of these are MBA. We had around 4 people in my Kolkata batch who were MBAs, and there are other people from math, stats, and other technological and non-technological backgrounds. So this is what it is about. The profiles that we said, there were freshers, as Varishu said, and there were 11% freshers, and there were around 20% with work experience of up to 2 years, and around 15% with more than 5 years. And there were people who were from IT background and non-IT background also. And let me assure you that that was not a problem for getting placed, because if you learn well and if you can really put it up during your interviews, you can actually showcase your interest and your knowledge in the interviews. That was not a then it was not a problem whether you are from an IT background or a non-IT background. And there were people from different domains as well, like Accenture, Capgemini, different companies. So I guess Satyendra will be taking up the takeaways from now.
Thanks, Urma. So these are the takeaways from the Praxis placement program. So for the July 2019 and 20 batch, the average salary was about 9.8 lakhs with a median of 9 lakhs, and the highest salary was 22.1 lakh. There were several roles that were often offered for us was business analyst, data scientist, senior analyst, data analyst, data scientist, and consultant, etc. So on the day zero, there was something about 11 companies or 16 companies lined up for its students. And the placement starts at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. So you must ready for the, you should be mentally prepared for the placements also. And next slide. Yeah, these are the companies that came on day zero. And the first company was Colgate. We started its recruitment process from 5:30 a.m. And about 70%, 60 to 70% of the batch was placed on the day zero itself. Next slide. Okay, these were the companies and their roles that has been offered for the July 2019 and 20 batch. You can say Vedanta, Imami, and many of the companies in different role. Like some of the companies also provide the roles of data engineer, like Cerner Healthcare. And companies can come for different roles also. Like one can come for data engineer, data scientist, analyst, and they can recruit the person based on their experience and their knowledge in data science. So there can be different roles for one company. Okay, so Subhashri will take on from here and she'll be talking about the COVID-19 effects.
Shubhashri, you are not audible.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was on mute. So what I was saying is we already had most of the questions answered previously, and we specifically have few more questions on this COVID-19 situation. So let's take up on those questions. Yeah. So the first question is it worth to leave a job in IT for career transition to data science in this epidemic time? So the question for this question, the main thing is if you've already decided that you want to change your career stream into data science, and then this would be right time because you have a lot of time. You'll be working from home. The most of the situation is like that. You'll have a lot of time and a lot of energy saved. You don't have to travel for your office and all. So if you can use this time to upskill yourself and make a career transition in this time, because once this epidemic ends, you'll have a lot of opportunities. As Varishu was explaining before, the data is increasing in the form of web analytics or in the form of machine logs or anything. From everything is being automated now. So see the increasing in the amount of data. As the data is increasing, the demand for data scientists will also increase. So that is directly proportional. I think it's very clear. Okay. And the next question is, what is different job aspects of data science in this pandemic period of lockdown? Different job aspects in the sense, if you are talking about the different designations or different roles you'll be you'll be getting recruited for, you'll have data analysts, data scientists, or business analysts. Like you choose a path and start working on it accordingly. And the Praxis program will help you for all these roles because you have the DVL techniques being taught here. You have the machine learning algorithms being taught. You get the complete understanding of the algorithm, unlike the online classes situation where if you get stuck, you'll have to do a lot of research to understand that particular concept or something. Okay, the next question is, what was the effect of current COVID situation on placements for 2020? Current situation. So till February, we had companies coming to our campus and recruiting our batchmates and all. And from March, it has slowed down. That is there, and that is very evident, and everyone is aware of it. So even few were applying off campus or something, they are getting placed even in this situation for data science roles. So you can understand from that how is the demand for this roles. Few of my batchmates got recruited as data analyst. Few got internships in data science roles. So that is there. So the demand is there, and we should have the right skill set. That is what I'm saying. So as all of us have explained it earlier. So post this COVID situation, the demand, we are seeing an increase in the demand. So we can concentrate on upskilling for now. So the next bucket, how do I start the learning process? Varishu will be taking up from here. Thank you.
Yeah, hi. So let's get to how do I start the learning process. Okay. So what questions we have here? Okay. How do I differentiate myself from other budding data scientists? Okay, so that's there are a lot of ways you can do that. There are competitions and hackathons happening all year round in platforms like Kaggle, Machine Hack, and all of these. So basically, when I started out, I began with the beginner levels. So there are actually levels designed to help you. You can start out with the beginner level if you are comfortable in that. If you get high accuracy, you can start out at intermediate, go to a master level, like that. There are a lot of tools you can use to build up your skills and get yourself differentiate yourself. What should be our initial step as a data scientist? So read about it. because see, there's you must have heard the sexiest job tagline that's going around, but it's more than that. Okay, there's a responsibility on your hands when you are handling data. You are handling a very sensitive stuff here. Okay, so if you read about it, you will get to know how vast this subject really is. Okay, from artificial intelligence to banking sector to commercial to consumer sector, behavior analytics, web analytics, from recommending you products in Flipkart or Amazon to actually making a robot recognize images. Everything is data science. Or even the Tesla cars, automated driving, self-driving cars. So read about it. Once you do that, you will be interested in some particular stuff. So if you're interested in the making the robot learn images or the self-driving cars, then you're interested in the computer vision side of things. Okay, so then the next question comes up: what courses should be a master as for becoming data scientist? So then you master the courses that you like. You master the computer vision course. If you are into reading text up from something like cam scanner used to do, that's OCR. So then you'll go for that. And if it's more of a hypothesis testing or building statistical frameworks, building models, then that's statistics and machine learning. Then you go for that. So there are a lot of courses you can do for mastering that. Here in Praxis, we do it all. So you start from statistics, you build up on your basics, the fundamentals, then you go to the programming, and you do it side by side. So you learn something in class on the paper, then you implement it on the machine. It goes hand in hand. What are the step-by-step courses I should learn when I'm beginning my career in data science, or the syllabus for data science? There's no syllabus for data science. See, it's a ever evolving field. It keeps growing every day. So like I said before, this question has been answered kind of. You can just there are a lot of courses. You need to read about it. You need to know what you like, and the work differs a lot depending on the sector. So you need to be clear on what you like. Okay, so next up is: hello, I'm a student belonging to final year, passing BSc Statistics. Recently started data science career track. Due to financial crisis, I am going to complete from YouTube classes and later doing some free courses right now. Okay, while I was started and practicing, I've got some doubts. What concept should I focus more? Also suggest me some career platform companies for freshers in India. BSc Statistics, I can relate to that. I can see that you're interested in data science, and that's fine if you're if due to a financial crisis you're trying free classes right now. I started from free classes too, but yeah, what concept should I focus more? That's really up to you. That's really, you need to read about it. Like I said before, you need to know what kind of sectors you can eventually make a career on. So yeah, you need to know what kind of work they require, and then build your skills according to that. Also suggest some career platform companies. So really it depends. So there are some companies that are that don't hold back. Maybe some startups or companies like which uh, they just keep on evolving. They don't they don't have limitations on like we can only use this or that technology. They keep on taking the next step forward, trying the new algorithm, that's hip in the market. While as there are other sectors that are very sensitive to even a minute drop in accuracy, like the banking sector, like the finance sector, where you cannot uh, just take another model because uh, it's probable to work better. You see, so it really depends. Like your career platform, the the companies that will push your career forward depends on the kind of career you need as a data scientist, or the kind of career you're looking for. How to equip myself through this course and external courses, I'm guessing, to be a good data science professional. First off, be willing to learn. When you see, when I don't know the kind of background you have, but you would have noticed the difference when you switch from a college to a job, or from a job to a college. It's very different. When you're in a college, you're in the groove of studying, you're in the groove of learning new things, and willing to change your opinions about certain things. When you go towards a job, that kind of slows down because you have work pressure, right? In this course, if you come to this course, you will have to get your mind straight to studying, back towards the pen and paper, back towards hardcore practicing, learning statistics, maths. So yeah, that's how you can equip yourself. And if you get your basics right, you will definitely be a good data science professional. Okay, so that's it. Any more questions? Okay, so I guess we can go to the live questions now that we have got from the chat. And for that, Surma will start.
Thanks, Varishu. So during the webinar, we got a few questions. So we thought of we'll be answering them now. So the first question is, keeping in mind the COVID situation. Sorry, just a minute. The chat vanished. Keeping in mind the COVID situation, how was the placement scenario for the batch which ended on April 2020? So one thing we'll say is our placements, as I've shown you the timeline earlier, our placements started in November 2019. So the day zero was in November 2019, and then it went on. So it wasn't the COVID situation didn't impact us right then and that time, but later people who were not placed on day zero, other companies kept on coming, and I still know that there are one or two companies which for whom the placements are still going on, like Vedanta. They started the placement procedure prior to the COVID situation, but still the placement procedure is still going on for them, for our batch people who were selected for their placements for Vedanta. So it hasn't affected us much. And given the current situation, like if you're following newspapers and all, you'll be seeing that data science is a much required idea now, because given the current COVID situation, as even Varishu said, we are people are more online, right? So there's a lot of digital data that we are getting. And given the different in the field of medicine, in the field of pharmacy, we are getting so much data for to analyze, right? You have seen the COVID-19 graph that is also built on the data which is coming into the government. So there's a lot of data to work and explore on. So data science won't be going back. Maybe for given the COVID situation, it will be getting a more high up, because those are the skills that are required for in the industry right now. So maybe it will be a bit delayed in with respect to the placements, but it won't be going down for data science. Okay, the next question is, what is the best placement for fresher with BSc statistics in data science? It's asked by Sai Kiran. So I guess this question has already been answered by Varishu. He is a BSc statistics fresher, and I'm also from statistics background, but I have had a job experience. And as you can already see, Varishu is already placed as an analyst at LTFS. So given it and being from a BSc statistics background, you will be having a bit of a better hold. And I know of our alumni, our previous seniors who have I know of one senior who did her BSc in statistics, and then she took a year drop for preparing for UPSC, and then she thought of joining Praxis, and now she's doing quite well. As much as I know, she's working in Swiggy right now. So analyst and being from statistics, you will definitely have a bit of an upper hand, I'll say, no doubt. Okay, the next question, sorry, is from Pranjal. How would the classes look like on a normal day, and what are the normal class schedule? So for a normal day, I can say from the Kolkata campus that our classes generally started by around 9:30, and it was mostly up to till 5 or 4, given the time schedule. So, and it was complete, we had continuous classes with gap for our lunch break, and it was, I will say, it was quite rigorous, because given the lot of things that you need to learn in the given 9 months, right? So that was the schedule that we had, and we even had classes on Saturdays. And it was quite nice because you are going learning with so many people, and I guess the same scenario was there in Bangalore also. So the next question is from Pavan. How much hike can we expect after the course for a IT non-data science background of 4 years experience? So this question, I guess Shubhashri has already answered, and even Barishu pointed it in one of his questions, that see, the first thing that you're learning is you're coming from a non-IT background, but I don't think that will be affected, because one of our batchmates, he was from sales, and he is one of the person who got placed with a quite a higher package. So it's all about what you're learning in this course and how well you can project yourself during the interviews, because as I can see, you have a work experience, right? So you know it also depends on how you project yourself during the interview time. If you are well enough, if you can express yourself during the interviews and say what you have learned and how well you have learned, if you can portray that, I don't think that will be a difficulty for you. And if you learn it well, that won't be a problem. Next question is, what were the major roadblocks or challenges in your data science journey till now? So personally, from my perspective, I'll tell. See, I had a work experience of around 4 years. So the first hurdle that I faced was leaving a secure job, I'll say, and the mentality of earning, being an independent person who is earning, and suddenly and leaving that secure place and coming in for a course after 4 years. That was the first hurdle that I faced, because even though I was one-minded that I will be taking up the course, but once you come into the reality and start understanding, oh, okay, I'm not earning and I'll be rigorously studying. So initially that was a bit of a hurdle, but once you get into that, and once you find that your co-batchmates are also there who have also dropped out from work and who have started this course, so it's a journey altogether. So it was and give after that was taking up the course and learning a lot of things together. But initially that was a bit of a hurdle, because giving your 100%, I mean, not coming back from work and relaxing and watching Netflix and binge, I'll say, not doing that, but coming back from classes, taking a bit of rest, and start study again, because you need to be prepared for the next class. So it took maybe a few weeks to adjust to that. But once you're into that, and once you see your batchmates and your friends doing the same thing, that thing comes into you automatically. And once you adapt to it, it won't be an issue, because you have to give your 100%. Otherwise, you won't be achieving. So that was it. And the next question is, do you need to know algorithms and data structure for placement? So the placements that happen is, when the placements happen, the companies are already informed of how much we have learned till the placements are starting. So the companies are prepared with our knowledge. So whatever till the time of placement, whatever you have learned, if you are well versed in that, so that will be okay. So a few of the basic algorithms in ML are already taught before our placements, because otherwise we won't be able to portray our knowledge, right? So that will be required during the placements. And even for data structures also, we have before our placements we had already taught about SQL and database. So that is also done before your placement. So you will be well versed in that, not to worry. The next is from Eric. What is the grading system and on what basis does Praxis grade considering there are no closed book exams? Sorry, Eric, I don't know where did you get to know this, that there are no closed book exams, because we did a lot of closed book exams for sure. We had a closed book exams. It was we had to understand and get the concepts right. So for that we had to study quite well, and then we had our programming assignments which we had to do somewhere given directly in the class, in the and some of them were assignments which we are supposed to submit within a stipulated time frame. That is, there is nothing like no closed book exam. So and based on that we have our CGPAs based on which the rankings are done, and if you're doing quite well and understanding the concept, that won't be a problem. Okay, next I'll ask Satyendra to take up his set of questions.
Thanks, Urma. So first question is from Abhishek Kumar. Why not 2 years of data science program? So from my experience, I can say the course in Praxis covers almost everything in the is there to teach in data science, and that too in deep knowledge, means in depth, you can say. And there are a lot of assignments through which you can learn. So if you can achieve something in 9 months, why go for 2 years? That's a simple answer. And second question is from Sunil. What is the difference in the program offered by Praxis and the programs offered by other universities? I don't have any experience from the other university, but I can say from Praxis, like the course is very rigorous. You need to be prepared and you need to be mentally prepared for doing it. And the thing is, like, there are the course content is really in depth, and you have to indulge yourself in continuous learning. And there are a lot of assignments that will keep you up on your toes so that you can learn data science in a proper way. And the Praxis is pioneering this exam from the last 10 years. So the alumni section of the Praxis is quite strong. And the placements, you all know that from the last 5 years, the placement is been like plus 95% for the all batches from for Jan and July. So I think Praxis is quite best in its own. So yeah, so next question is from Haripriya. During placement and company interviews, what kind of profile is ideal for someone without a background? Can you please list out the mandatory things expected from a candidate, like how many projects in which topic, extra add-on courses, or some languages one must know? Any other skill? What would an ideal resume contain? So about the background, there is no need. Like there was some people without background that got selected. There were some people with IT background that got selected. There were some people from stats or data science background that got selected. So I don't think there is any dedicated background you need to have for placements. But for the resume, I can say from my experience, I got selected in, I was shortlisted in more than 6 companies, and I gave interviews for more than 4 to 5 companies. So most of the questions were around SQL, Python, machine learning, stats, and there were some questions also on puzzles and the real life scenarios, like how will you manage a team, or how will you manage if someone is not accompanying with you. So I think the most basic thing you could do is prepare well for machine learning, stats, SQL, and Python. That would cover around 80% of their interview question. That I'm saying with my experience and the other people in my batch. So apart from that, you can cover the Tableau portion, the data visualization one, and you can cover some puzzles also, which they can, because in data science you need to be good in problem solving. So if you can solve some puzzles, you're almost there. Next question is from Supriya Sarangi. I have almost 15 years of experience in public health field. Does age play a role in this field? I'm in my early 40s. So I can say from my batch and from my previous batch that people with 2+ years of background got selected, people with 5+ years of experience got selected, people with 10+ years of experience got selected. So I can say there is no age bar or there is no age barrier in this field. If you are open to new learning and new experiences, data science is for you. And if you are from public health domain, then healthcare analytics is the hot topic right now in data science. And during this pandemic, this is the most needed one we need right now. So go for it. And next question is from Rishabh. Do you need to know any algorithms or data structure for placement? I think Surma already answered that. And adding to that, if you know data structure in deep, then it's good. If you don't know, then it's also good because data structures are not that much needed in data science. If you have some basic knowledge in data science, data structures, then it's good. No need to go for the deep ones. And for algorithms, algorithms are the most important things in data science because machine learnings are nothing but algorithms. So yes, you need to know. Apart from that, what is the grading system? On what basis does this is also answered by Suma. So that's all from. Okay, so there was one other question. What certificate we will get after successful completion of the course? Will it be considered as post-graduation? So you'll be getting a post-graduation program certificate from Praxis after completing the course of 9 months. And it's not, it is considered as post-graduation. Yeah. Has the placement started for January 2020 batch? No, due to the COVID-19 situation, the placement has not started yet, and they'll be starting soon. And that's all. Like we cannot predict when the COVID will get cured, so we cannot say anything on the placement right now. So this much. Okay, that's all from my bucket. If any more questions, we welcome those. Or if any other guys have any question, like Surma or Ishu, if you guys have any other question from anyone.
Yeah, so I have some questions here. So first is from Subhashmita. What is the salary at entry level as data scientist? So that's 5 to 7 lakhs per annum in India, if you're asking. Keeping in mind the COVID situation, how was the placement scenario for the batch which ended on April 2020? This has already been answered, I guess. Sir, from Tejasvi, it's sir, can we do it after 12th? Even though I appreciate the enthusiasm, but unfortunately, this is a post-graduation diploma, so you need an undergraduate degree. Then from Subhashmita again, I am BTech with MBA. How does MBA degree help in data science? Does this MBA degree give additional boost in pay package? About the pay package, it really depends on the profile. But it does help. Like I've said before, management will help. Because see, like I said before, in profiles with like management trainees and in the analytics department and something like that, you if you combine the data science course from Praxis with your MBA degree, it will definitely be a boost. Then Hisav asked, do you need to know algorithm? Okay, this has already been answered. Sai Kiran said, thank you for answering, sir. I started by practicing myself more, and apart, I would do my skills straight and better. I guess this is the BSc statistics one. Thank you for joining, and I hope I was able to answer, and we were able to answer your queries. Eric, this has already been answered. From Aniruddha Nayak, or there any extra effort needed from your side apart from the curriculum followed in the class? If yes, please elaborate. So the curriculum is really vast and really comprehensive. You don't need to worry about extra efforts if you are doing good in the class. That's actually very well for you, because and except for that, when the day zero comes, when the placement comes, everybody's trying to better their resume. So that's really up to you how much how projects like what good projects you can add in your resume, and how much you know about them. Also, like if you have work experience, then you need to be able to talk about that as well. Okay, what is the grading system? Closed book exams, this has already been answered. And I don't know where you got this fact from. There are definitely closed book and open book exams, mostly closed book. This already answered. Heard that Praxis does not provide in any internship. Doesn't it create any issue with placement? Heard that Praxis does not provide in. If you're asking if Praxis provides internships or not, it does. I don't know where you heard that. Doesn't it create any issue with placement? No, the see for companies that take your Praxites as interns, mostly the students mostly get converted. Like as of now, in some of the banks, the conversion rate is 100%. All of them can get converted into proper recruits, proper hires. So yeah, don't worry if you're thinking that you'll be stuck in an internship. It's not that. It's mostly take it as a training regiment, and then you get converted into a hire. Yeah. Any Haripriya asked any interview experience story to share regarding the difficulty of questions, manner of questions, how does the interview vary based on package offered? So the interview does not vary based on package offered. The interview varies based on the profile offered and what kind of which sector the company is coming from. So it can range from questions about SQL to questions about algorithms. They may give you a scenario. They may give you actual tables and ask you to uh, you put up a select query to do this or that, or like ask you questions about the projects you did, what algorithms you used, why you use them, how you could measure the accuracy using them, and what better algorithms can be used in the future, and things like that. So no particular story, none that I have. If anybody else has, I'm sure they will share. From Shubh, is there package at placement is lower for freshers than experienced one, or it depends on performance? No, this has been mentioned before too. Akhil, a fresher, got like the second highest package in our batch. So it's not depending on the kind of experience you have, because the experience you have in data science is the same, right? That's why you're in the course. Okay, any more questions anybody else has that they like to answer?
Yes, Varshu, I got few questions. So first question is how the companies will shortlist resumes and who will have higher chance of getting placed, either fresher or experienced person. So the shortlisting mostly happens on the aptitude test. 99% of the times they happen on the aptitude test and not based on your resumes. Okay. The other question, has anyone migrated to data science from supply chain at the age of 40? So as far as we have seen only our batchmates of work experience up to 10 plus years and all. So I don't have enough data to answer this question. You can connect with the admissions department if to be very specific. And that's all for me. And there's one more question. What is day zero? So day zero is the day decided by the placement team, where they have all the companies visiting the campus to recruit students. They decide the time slots and all. It starts from a particular time and goes on till evening. So that is day zero, where all the companies visit and recruit students. Do you guys have Discord channel? What do you mean by Discord channel? Marishu, can you help here?
I don't think Praxis has a Discord channel, but if they do, you will find it in their website. And I'm pretty sure, like in the end, or in the YouTube that you're watching this, we'll put the link in the description if they have one. Okay.
Okay, what is the day-to-day role of data scientist? Day-to-day role of data scientist, it varies. Like you can there you have so many roles to play, from data cleaning, data collecting, optimizing the algorithms, designing the algorithms, and all these. So it depends on the company you are placed, or the work you do, the use cases they take up. So it all depends on that. And your day-to-day role will vary from every project, from every company. So these are the most broadly classified roles. And I think that's all for me. Is anyone else having any more questions to answer?
Yeah, so I got one more question later. So it's from Pranjal. The question was, all the companies coming to day zero, how are candidates allocated to different companies? So one thing is that all the companies are not coming on day zero. There's yes, the maximum number of companies do come on day zero, because obviously they want to, we have this idea, right? Come first and get the best. So that's why most of the companies try to come on day zero. And before day zero starts off, there is it's not like the placement starts on day zero itself. There are a few pre-placement tasks at hand for us. Like we have many companies, they either do based on resume, or many companies they give IQ tests and the other MCQ tests that they hold in, and we try to attempt those beforehand, and based on that the shortlisting happens. So like as you just heard Satyendra telling that he had been shortlisted in around 6 companies. So we all had to start off at 5:30 for the placement thing to begin. And your the companies are the placement team tries such that the companies are scheduled so that there is no clash between companies for a person who has been shortlisted for both. And even if that happens, the placement team takes care of that. That if you are, let's say, if you're attending any company interview, and another company is waiting for you, the placement team informs them accordingly that this person is already being interviewed by some other company, and they agree to keep it on hold. And once that person is done, I think Satyendra is one of the other better person to answer this question, because I remember him running around from companies to companies attending the interviews. So Satyendra, do you want to add something else to that?
You have already answered most of the things. Like,
Ah.
yeah, the companies are starting almost at 5:30, but your different interviews are scheduled at different times, and there will be coordinating people who will be coordinating with the companies as well as you, so that there's no left out. Like, you won't be feeling left out for any other company. So it's a easy process. Don't be
I'll just add to
hesitating
that
for
you
that.
don't have to be worrying about that, because the placement team takes well care of that. That it's not like you're missing out on any other company because you're attending interview for some other.
One thing
So
I can
that's
say,
it from
like,
my
one thing
yeah.
I can say,
Sorry.
like, you will be excited for every interview, like you have never been before. That I can say from my experience. And
Yeah.
I have some questions now, like, what is the
Yes, sure.
that how many projects in which topics one should do for an ideal resume? Like, I can say topics, you can choose the classification, regression, and the clustering. These are the basic topics from machine learning, and you can do projects in this, and you can add to your resume. But the question is not the numbers. The question is the knowledge. So the number of, like, the projects you are adding to your resume, you should have in-depth knowledge of those resumes. So the interviewer can ask any question, and you should be prepared to answer any question. Like, it should not be that, like, you have added any project in your resume, and the interviewer is asking some question, but you are not able to answer that question. So that's a negative point. And apart from that, if you want, you can add time series analysis in your resume, and deep learning also. That's a good thing. It's like a unique thing in its own. And there is a question like how much vast knowledge you need to get into data science role in product companies like Google and Amazon. I think very much. And one of my friend, he was giving the interview at Amazon, and he was like, he has to go to like 6 or 7 rounds, and 2 of the rounds are in Python, and with most of the questions around classes, which we think that classes are not needed in data science, but Amazon asked classes in data science. And 2 of the interviews were in SQL with a complex query. Yes, Uma.
Satendra, sorry. Actually, the webinar was supposed to be for around an hour, but given the questions, we had to extend it, right? But I think it's like we are overshooting the time now. Maybe we can take up these questions and other subsequent questions that come in separately, and we will email the answers to the participants who have the other questions. So
Okay.
our email IDs are here provided to you. So if any of you have any other further questions, please feel free to reach us, and we will definitely be answering you. And when we will be out, there will be a link shared for our Praxis Live. So some of us has already written about it in LinkedIn, and we have posted it. So you people can, and even on Quora. So we will be sharing you the links, and you can get a more better feel about what Praxis Life is. So, and there is and I hope we know that there is a PGDM webinar at 5:30 today. So we hope that some of you will be definitely attending those, which will be taken up by the DM people, the management people out there in our batch, in our curriculum. So we hope to see you there, and we hope that you really did get some inputs from from the 4 of us about your doubts and your career choices about data science. And it really intrigued you, and it spiked up your interest. And we hope that you people join us in the Praxis family coming forward. Thanks to all of you.
Thanks everyone for coming and joining. Hope
Thank
you got
you.
something that you want.
Thank you guys, and all the best for your data science careers.
Thank you guys for attending this webinar, and all the best.